Trick or treat. Today is Tuesday, 31st day of October 2017. My name is Derek. Welcome. Que pasa? Let's see what we can make sense of these markets. Everything you do is within your own risk, own reward within this information, and that's exactly how I see the nature of this crypto trading. So then, without further ado, monthly time frame for Bitcoin, it just keeps going. And ever since this trend line took off, a huge green candle up, 2 months of consolidation. Very good month in August, September consolidation, and a very good month for October. We now head into that of the month of November. Price action well extended from this 18 average. After all, the price was well below 1,000. And here it was below 1,000 for the earlier part of the year, but well over 6 times higher today. Daily chart up next. I am not surprised with today's action, and anyone following this channel should not be either, as I have been pointing these types of patterns out, and further gains should nowhere near be a surprise either. I have my silver order ready to go, but I like the probability odds I can buy just a little bit cheaper, maybe add another ounce or two, by having price action come up closer to the 68 handle. It is only now just leaving this 18 average, as yesterday's session on Monday was extremely positive, huge, even though the volatility was very micro. A pause candle from its previous day. And oftentimes these patterns resolve themselves in the path of least resistance, so it's looking as if it's another leg higher. And as I point out before, if you don't find much resistance, see, this thing could just really explode if it's not going to in here. So we'll see how the message plays out. But if it does have this further gain, which it very likely should, that will mean now on the intermediate term time frame that the support I'd be looking for would be roughly between 5,800 and 6,000. Let's take a look at this on the single hour time frame. And technical analysis doing its thing like it always usually does. Consolidation amongst this previous point breaks this resistance, fast move to where it's supposed to go to. If you sold there, you barely could buy back. Well, barely meaning you couldn't for a cheaper price, only retraced 1% or such. Breaking resistance, fast move. Then you establish this layer of resistance as well as another one in here. And on the break of such, how you doing? Big move. Sideways movement sense over a span of about 9 or so periods, 9 hours or such. Price action did come back down to the 18 average of highs. That's just something I like to see. How did it respond after? Instant push higher, follow through. Leaving the 18 average, it looks as if it's ready to maybe take a break or break of such, or break the 6,400 and maybe gain another 4 or so 100 points towards the next level, because when you break a key point, it's going to go fast, and pretty sure the same thing would happen on a break above again. Now, I've managed to upgrade my TradingView account to a pro level, so I can put almost any time frame I want in. And what I really did like what I didn't like was the difference between 4-hour and the day, because there's so many times I'd want to see something like the quarter day or 1/3 day chart. So therefore, Let's take a look at the 1/3 day chart of this, or the 8-hour time frame. And there we have it. So 480 minutes, as it says in here. I can again put any time frame I want into here. Just in this time frame, leaving the 18 average of highs. Nice little green candle up within such. 2 hours remaining out of 6 hours. Not much time within it, so a pause candle, very bullish, so therefore good chance the market can continue to move up. And I could put these wacky time frames in like the 18-minute chart, each candle representing 18 minutes in time. All of them have very bullish looks right now. Let's take a look now at KMD, that of Komodo, on the daily chart, which band flatten out, establish resistance. Step 3 is done, accomplished. Come back to the band. May come back down further towards such. The 18 average of lows is a must hold. But what I do like is that it at least didn't come down here, at least not today. For I do get really cautious when I see moves like this. This one, of course, over the longer term time frame still ended up working out. But when you give back a good setups gains relatively quickly and then start to show some weaker patterns, you'd be talking about this being the failed breakout, because since this move has happened, we have the either or situation. Either this is going to be reversal of trend. Market, of course, has already came back. Breaking of this resistance level should very easily take us up to maybe these previous highs in and around north of the 55 handle. And then we look at this on the 8-hour time frame, 1/3 day. This is where you kind of would like to see, at least for now, stop going lower, break of this trend line. You can also make a case that we have a head and shoulders pattern. It broke it, but so far this is all it has done, meaning again, if this doesn't support, this could probably mean a fast move down to a previous low in and around 27. GRS on the daily time frame. This thing is just wild. It's already surpassed the 10x gain. The amount that it's lost from this high has been recuperated in less than 1 week's time. So a lot of the codes that have been in major downtrends, a lot of them are going to experience such events where it will get back what it lost in a small fraction and duration of time in which it lost it. So codes that lost X amount over 100 days could very easily get back to that level in a fraction like 10 or 12 days. That's a lot of how this game is played. Feathercoin is holding its uptrend well. It's down a little bit, but after the big loss on Sunday, Monday session got back to that level, and at least it hasn't lost too much. It's maybe it could come back to this area. We could shorten out the time frame, and I will. And within the 2-hour time frame, it's built up a big level of support within such. This lower high towards this point. 18 average barely starting to decline. Is it possible for further range extension? 70,000 upwards to about the 96 or 97 handle. That's definitely a possibility. This level of support did come back towards here. The one thing that I do think is likely, even if this is going to be bearish, if it does come down here, is you probably get some sort of bounce. But you may not get much of a rally if it's going to roll over, meaning that it could come, maybe take a bounce up towards here or here, and then make a move lower as a possibility. But like a lot of these different codes, when you've built a range of some form, when you break the resistance or support, expect decent sized moves. Of course, resistance in here and the lower end of the support within here. Here's OK for OK Cash. I'll use a 2-day chart in this example. When you see the move that happens in here and then, oh, boom, fast like that. A lot of sick volatility within such. If you play the strategy that I talk about where you sell when it goes higher, opportunity through the yin yang, you buy as it goes lower, everything you sold in here got bought back. Everything bought pretty much, depending on how much gain you're looking for, but everything down in here should have been sold up in here. And if you would wish, I didn't do it, but if you sold up towards this top, then you could buy back right now, but I'm looking to buy back at around 4,000 within this level of resistance. Next up, FTC or Feathercoin on the 4-hour time frame. These moves are nothing shy of very wild. Breaking this resistance, well, it was in the 900s here, and it goes from 900 to 32. That's better than a 3.3x gain. And then you correct, not crash, you correct down to 1250, losing a mere 2/3 of your value. And I'm realistically saying mere 2/3 because it sounds outrageous. But when the price action breaks higher, establishes a level of resistance like this, comes back to the band in form, that's what a correction lies, especially when it's able to develop some sort of up pattern afterwards. And if you follow it from in here, you go to this point up here, back to the 18 highs, low in here, back in here, over, down again, making the higher highs and higher lows several times, and a huge continuation. So from the bottom in which it corrected from, south of 1250, it's already twice the price from where it was. And when I look at this on the triple day chart, a 3-day time frame, that's a nice little move, but I just talked about how big it was to have these types of events. This volatility is very tame in comparison to 2016, when all it did over about 4 periods or a span of almost a couple of weeks go from 1,600 to over 18,000. That is a huge, better than 10x gain, and then a very sharp sell-off. So if you're just selling orders in here, you can buy all of this back in here. Sell some of it back in here, because you're going to have sell orders in here when it goes higher, but this one would hit, and this one would hit, and this one would hit, and then you buy it all back. Get some sell orders in here. What sell orders you did, you buy back. And then of course you're back in the buying stage. But if this is a code that I talk about like this, you're playing aggressively, where you want to take advantage of these gains. And I'm not playing this right now, but I'd have a sell order here, maybe one up here, and it depends on how many you go. You can put hundreds depending on your size that you have and how small you want your orders to be in. And then, of course, you'd even have a few north of here. So 18,000 is this number. Maybe you have it at 25,000, 40,000, and 80,000 as well. Because if it can do this fast, this allows you to live a life away from the trading game, and to the degree where this is something where if you desire, you could just manage this every so often, and so on and so forth. Because when codes can just go up and down like this, you don't need to know why. Who cares? Just knowing that if a candle goes up to here, say, that every single one of these sell orders has to be filled, and you could then put buy orders in. So if price did go to 10,000, I have these 4 sell orders in. Oh, I sell 9,000. Let's put a buy order in for 6. I sold 75. Let's put that in for, say, 4,000. Okay, I sold at 55. Let's go for 3,000. I sold at, say, 38. Let's maybe get that in at maybe 1,500 or whatever. Let's continue on with code RISE, which is on the 60-minute time frame. All this thing did a few periods before this was rise from 34 and change up to about 46. That's a gain of about 33%. I didn't do this, but any sell orders in here, if you were fast enough and you were able to buy back anywhere in here. And this thing now is just lifting off, testing the resistance from the 24th and 25th of October. And this is the 1 minute time frame. So when these things go, boy, can they ever go. And let's finish this off with TX transfer coin. And this is one I don't own again. I'm just looking to see that it's had a good move today. And if you buy where markets come back to where they came from, the obvious answer in here would have been somewhere around here. 2,000. It appears down to below 18. Now in at 20,000 rather. Now it's at 25,000. But after this move higher, a little bit of consolidation, a little bit of a final washout within this area, and the buyers are moving back in control. If you see a fast move come in up close to 32, 33, I mean, this thing could be ready to really tear. And with that being said, I'd like to thank you for tuning in to this evening's video. Have yourself a very great day. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.